Margaret Hill was 63 years old, and if you passed her on Maple Street, you might not notice her at all. She wore simple cardigans, sensible shoes, and carried a canvas grocery bag that had been stitched and mended many times. But those who truly knew Margaret understood that kindness has a way of living quietly, without asking to be seen. Margaret lived alone in a small American town where seasons changed slowly and neighbors waved from porches. Her husband had passed years ago, and her children lived far away, busy with lives of their own. Still, Margaret's days were full. Every morning she woke before sunrise, brewed a cup of weak coffee, and stood by her kitchen window, watching the street come alive. She had a habit of noticing people. There was Mrs. Carter next door, whose hands shook when she tried to unlock her door. Margaret often appeared beside her, smiling gently, pretending she just happened to be outside. There was Tommy, the quiet boy who waited alone at the bus stop. Margaret would leave a small bag of homemade cookies on the bench, never saying a word, never waiting for thanks. On Thursdays, Margaret volunteered at the local food pantry. She listened more than she spoke. When people apologized for needing help, she looked them in the eye and said softly, "Everyone needs kindness sometimes." Her voice carried no pity, only understanding. It made people feel human again. One winter evening, a snowstorm hit the town unexpectedly. Power lines fell and the cold crept into homes. Margaret wrapped herself in a coat and went door to door, checking on her neighbors. She brought extra blankets, shared soup she had made earlier that day, and sat with an elderly man who was afraid to be alone in the dark. She held his hand until he fell asleep, as if love itself were a lamp that could keep fear away. When the storm passed, no one made speeches about Margaret. There were no awards or headlines, but something had changed. Neighbors began checking on each other more often. Children waved with brighter smiles. Kindness had spread, quietly and steadily, like light through a cracked door. At 63, Margaret knew that love didn't need grand gestures. It lived in small, steady acts, the kind that asked for nothing in return. And in giving that love, she discovered she was never truly alone.